You ready for some more Mark? Got more Mark for you. Mark Silvestri, Star Trek X-Men crossover between Marvel and Paramount. Um, one of the weirdest crossovers and one of the best. I think they did. Top Cow specifically did a fantastic job on this book. Who handled production on it? So yeah, you're gonna get to see a lot of the Marvel X-Men characters here. 1995. I think it was 95 when this came out. Yeah, because I was using a lot of some of the rendering techniques in here that Mark was using. I was using on some of my extreme work back in the day, just because it looks sweet. All right, so pencils. This is art for inspiration, mainly here for Mark, but shout out also Billy Tan, got Anthony Wynn, and Finch. Finch did one page, which is actually an awesome pinup splash page. And then background assists, shout out to Brian Ching. So Brian Ching, I think, was the artist who took over on Dave Finch's Ascension book as a full-time penciler back in the day. What that does, it frees up Mark to just have to worry about figures, and then everything else is Brian Ching in the background. Probably not the chair on this, but I'm assuming everything in the back that requires a French curve or a roller or even maybe a ship. Although I feel like Mark could freehand this pretty easily. So yeah, check this out. Yeah, Mark killed it on this. Very, very recognizable faces, which I've never seen from Silvestri until this book was released. Not that there was really a need for him to do so, just he could have very easily just kind of drawn a few things here and there, to kind of identify who the character is. But he went full photorealistic on these, and they're awesome. Photorealistic as you can be when you're drawing in a heavy rendered style. Yeah, they look great. But yeah, unfortunately, Mark didn't do the whole book, probably because of deadlines and also why he utilized Ching for backgrounds. Yeah, because there is actually quite a bit of detail back here. So Mark probably just worked these characters out. And then, but all this stuff back here, yeah, I'm sure that's Ching back there. And that Nimoy face is insane. Yeah, this is a really, really cool book. I have no idea if this book is collected anywhere else. So if you are interested in it, this was my original copy. This thing is a total beater copy at this point. I bought this straight off the shelf the week it was released, and I've read it hundreds of times. Mostly staring at the pretty pictures, but yeah, it's just, they did a crazy good job on this book back when it came out. Nice mashup of new and old school with the looks on everything too, the ships and stuff too. Bones. Yep, so yeah, this stuff's great. Awesome inks too, by the way. I think it was Bat. I think Bat was the inker on most of this. Let's see, Bat. So Bat, then you got Dewey, Billy Tan. So Billy Tan actually inks some of Mark in here too, even though he also was the penciler. Arn Soud and Weems. So Joe Weems inked the David Finch splash page, and then you got ink assist. You got Victor Lamas, Team Tron. I don't know who that is. That part of Dewey's, because D-Tron was Dewey. I don't know if Team Tron is the people down here listed. Yeah, Viatron, Mike McKijic, Jose Guillen. Yeah, I don't know any of these cats. I don't know any of them. So much talent, though. Yeah, this is great. Yeah, so, whew. Yeah, if you're a fan of Silvestri, gotta get this book. at least for the first half, even if you're not a fan of Billy Tan, or Billy Tan does, I feel like actually kind of carries the boat. Mark just got to draw some of the cooler stuff. You got Gladiator here. There, did he just punch the ship? Yes. Yeah, that was great, man. Yeah, everything about this. So this came out around the same time as like Witchblade picking up speed. I don't think the Darkness was out yet. I think the Darkness was still in its like conceptual phase, and you can really see that with a lot of the rendering style here. A lot of those the sharp, jagged edges, and even with like the fisticles here, everything's got that sharp edge, line quality to it. Right here, you can see it a lot with the hands. Yeah, it's almost like a Jackie face. Yeah, this stuff's awesome. But Mark was doing like a big thing with a lot of swoop and directional changes, where it was more almost like a gesture drawing outline, versus a rounded out, smoothed out, nice flowy line. He was really kind of letting it kind of dart out and back in, things like that, and it adds to the style. With the hatching and the heavy drop shadows and all that, it just works. Like you can see it on the lip here, like the pachow kind of goes out, almost like a 90s school manga look. Um, it's cool. Females look awesome. Faces look great. Yeah. So let's see. Got Gambit. Gambit doesn't really do much with Gambit in here. You get the crew checking out. Notice someone's on the ship. It's the X-Men, of course. Again, the photorealism in this is just insane. You can Google black and white pages to this, and they're amazing. They're amazing. That man, this panel. The shop owner. I remember when I bought this. He was an older guy. He was never enthusiastic about the image revolution. Um, Yeah, he's one of those people that was like, "Oh, Silvestri was only ever good on Wolverine." We had that kind of mindset. But I know when this book came out, he was ranting about this particular panel, about how great he didn't know Mark had the skill to do that. And I was like, I think any artist got the skill to do that. It's just there's no need for it until this book. So it's a cool panel. Kind of silly. Anatomically, some of the stuff was kind of silly of what he was doing at the time. I think he was redefining and refining his style. And then of course this developed into what we got on the Darkness, which was just amazeballs. I think this is the final Mark page here. It's really weird too. So like Bishop's been here like the whole time and just rarely seen. He's just sort of there. Like there he is. He's back here, kind of taking the place of almost like Colossus, right? Like he's the tank. Got Frank the Tank in the back, not doing nothing. All right, so yeah, so this is the end of Mark. I was originally gonna do the video only on Mark, but I was like, it's gonna be too short. Let's go ahead and we'll look at Billy Tan's stuff too, who very obviously Billy Tan, I can personally identify with, as far as being a utility artist. I know Billy Tan absolutely touched more original pages than he was credited with. He's the complete package, much like myself. He's got the ability to color, ink, draw, layout, thumbnail. But again, he really good job of his own as well. I've never been a huge fan of his female faces. The guys, I got no qualms. Um, again, he does a pretty good job. Again, also with using a photorealism look to these characters. I feel like he took a little more creative freedom though on some of them. Like this Kirk looks different than this to me, but it's okay. It's a comic book. Here we go. We got the Dave Finch page. This is just awesome. Yeah, great shot of a storm here. Um, and all these characters just look cool. Finch would do a really cool Gambit series. I know he doesn't really draw exactly like this anymore, but this is pretty similar to the style that this kind of the beginnings of where he ended up at now. Um, but yeah, just a really great dark brooding Gambit. I think if Finch ever gets his hands on like on a Gambit mini or ongoing, that'd be insane. Be a really cool book. Yes, we got back to Tan. And if Mark wasn't the primary artist on this, I would have still bought it. Even with that Mark cover, I would have still bought it. Um, it's just good work. It's really, really good work. Um, at the time, Top Cow was just dunking on everyone, especially with. I feel like Top Cow's inks were neck and neck with Extreme. I think that Extreme Studios inkers were a notch above Wildstorm as far as ability, but um, color wise, you know, I just feel like there was just a lot more uh, relevance of what was being put out by Top Cow in colors with rendering and everything else. Because yeah, you can compare this book to a lot of other books from the same time, 95, and you're not going to be getting all this work, a lot of these knockouts, a lot of the just the color selections on a lot of this stuff. You're just not going to see it. Um, you'll see it on color guides, but just maybe not in like this is a perfect. This is just yeah. I've looked at this so many times, but yeah, just other companies just weren't even close to Top Cow's ability on a computer with colors. So yeah, so then this ends it here. Last page, pretty cool. Actually, let me see this here. I feel like yeah, he didn't really ape it. I mean, it feels like almost like a flip, but he did his own kind of version of an outro with Kirk here, even with the shading a bit. Um, Still a pretty cool page. You got a Star Trek X-Men gallery, pinup gallery here. Let's see here. Uh, Before they were married, I guess. So Terry Dodson and Rachel Pinnock. So I guess that's before it was Rachel Dodson. Diodato Jr. right here. Pretty cool pinup. These colors on both of these, I do not believe are Top Cow. They feel very in-house Marvel to me. This might be Top Cow though. Steve Epting. The saturation of it feels a little more professional to me, a little more like Top Cow. Gary Frank and Cam Smith. Gary Frank has leveled up hugely in 20 years. You got a Joe Bennett pinup. Not too bad. Joe Bennett ended up doing a lot of work at Extreme back when I was there. You got Pascal Ferry and John Dell. John Dell, great inker. John Dell's so good. Then you got Valsimix and Dell right here. Pretty cool. Then you get some weird backup thing. I don't know. I never really cared about this much. But anyways, yeah, there it is. Marc Silvestri, Star Trek X-Men. Highly recommend. And also, yeah, Google image search some Marc Silvestri Star Trek X-Men pages. There are a few floating around that you can see, and they're amazing. They're so fun to look at. And I feel like it's almost I don't know 100%, but I feel like this might have actually kind of inspired the Darkness style, the way that he was approaching a lot of the outlines specifically. And I see it. I know it's going to sound funny. I see it in the hands. I see it in the hands. There's something about it that it just feels very uh, darkness. It might just be the era of the colors too. My eyeballs might just be picking up the palette here. Um, but yeah, so yeah, colors. We had a Tyson Wangler, you had Fur Cow, JD Smith, and Ice Nove. So that might just be what I'm picking up on. Yeah, go check it out. eBay, Amazon, wherever you can find it. Local comic shops if they got it. Then you can find my stuff right there. All right, thanks.